Welcome back to the Firahs podcast with your boy Firahs. This is the place where I talk my rubbish, get shit off my chest, and I just have a great time with you guys and myself. We talk some topic, mainly music, but we do always dibble and dabble into other avenues. And today, usually I always start with a drink, and today we are sipping on some Strongbow rosé cider for today. I don't know if the camera is capturing that. For the people that aren't able to see, yes, it's a nice little Strongbow can, a rosé flavor cider. So let's spark that up. Love that. First sip, like the taste. Prefer normal rosé, but you know, there you go. That's the story of my life. But anyway, want to get into the conversation today. I thought we might as well just start where the biggest story is right now. Jake Paul and Tommy Fury are going to be fighting on the 26th of February in Saudi Arabia. Listen, man, I'm going to just have to start with a simple fact that this has been, 2.5 years in the making. We don't even know if the fight is actually going to go on this time. We've got Tommy Fury now, who has essentially cancelled on 2 occasions. The first occasion, he got injured. I believe he was doing some training on his ribs, and according to him, his dad hurt his ribs, so they cancelled that one. The second time, it was some issues with him flying into the country, visa issues or something like that, right? So now we're third time lucky. We're hoping that he's going to go in this time and actually fulfill the duties that he claims that he's going to end Jake Paul's career. Do I think he'll be able to do so? Honestly, I don't know. I did at first. Now I'm not so sure. Now, obviously, if you don't know about boxing, Tommy Fury's fought, I believe, 9 times or 8 times. I think it's 9 times, 4 knockouts. But he's always fought people that no one knows, or like, I mean, the last fight, the guy never won a match, and like I think he lost like 9 matches or something. He's a journeyman. So I don't know if we actually gonna be seeing Tommy Fury win this fight. Jake Paul, however, again, you can kind of question his fighters. A lot of them have been older. Most notably, either retired over the late 30s, early 40s. He's been fighting them old broskies, yeah. But he's fought fighters who were champions. So I don't know. It's an interesting one for me. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. I feel a bit interesting to see how that kind of pans out, if it even happens. I think this is it's going to be a crazy look, because if Tommy Fury loses this fight, bro, he's gonna have to find a new career. Like, his career will be over, because he's supposed to be the boxer. He's from the Fury family. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury will be looking at him like, broski, we can't see I lose this fight, to Jake Paul. Can you imagine, bro? It will get crazy. So I think it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I mean, YouTube boxing and now is mingling with professional boxing. It's crazy. I think it's a mad look. Interesting to see how long this will last for. But I'm here for it, and I'm here for change. And if people want to see a Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul, then why not? So let's hope and see how that pans out. 26th of February, Saudi Arabia. I believe it's available on BT Sports and ESPN Plus, something like that. And yeah, I mean, they had a little face to face I saw yesterday. Today of this filming is Monday, the 30th of January. It was yesterday. It was Sunday, the 29th. I saw the video, and yeah, it looked like they had a little face off. Listen, Tommy Fury looks confident. Jake Paul looks confident. Josh Denzel, who was doing the interviewing, looked confident. Probably supporting his Love Island broski. So, you know what I mean? We're interested to see where that goes. But at the end of the day, listen, man, it's not one of the biggest fights of the year. It's an influencing fight, and yeah, whatever happens. But I want to go into another story now, an interesting one. Father and son jailed following murder of a man in Greenwich. Like, listen, man, I can't even believe a father. And you know what? Before I even carry, let me tell my little sip real quick. That sip was needed. Bro, listen. Man said a father took his son out to murder someone, bro. Oh, come on, man. Anyway, let me read the thing. So, a father and son from Walthamstow have been jailed for a combined total of 48 years after they robbed and murdered a man in Greenwich. Erneston Elliott, 45, and son Nico Elliott, 23, of Walthamstow were both found guilty by a jury following a trial at the Old Bailey. The court heard the father and son stab their victim Nathaniel in the heart after he chased them for robbing drugs and cash from him. Police alleged that the pair were prepared to use any form of violence necessary to protect their stolen property. Do you know what? Like, it's one of them ones here where, when it comes to gang culture, there's only so much sympathy you can have for people, right? Like, if you're in the streets, you should deal with the consequences that comes to the streets, right? It's natural. It is what it is, and I'll be very naive to sit here and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did what they did to somebody," which I can't believe, by the way. Like, it's crazy, but all three of them, the person that's passed away, unfortunately, rest in peace, Nathaniel, didn't deserve this as well, by the way, just to illustrate that. But he was part of the lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me, it's a difficult one. Like, I don't want to sit here and start criticizing people that aren't with us anymore, because that's unfair. But sometimes you also have to look at the fact that he chose this life. He chose to be a part of this lifestyle. And unfortunately for him, his life has just ended very early. Now, for the father and son, listen, as a father, the fact that he's joining in with his son on this crime thing, I'm sorry. Don't bring your son into your shit. If you gotta do some shit, do your shit on your ones. Do not get your son involved in this life. I think that's ludicrous that the father is in jail with his son. Like, come on, bro. Like, that is some petty shit. No respect from this side of the culture. I don't understand why I'm hearing father and son. Oh, come on, man. Listen, if I was in the drug game or in some form of criminal organization or whatever, or I'm not bringing my children involved. I'm not getting them involved. I'm not letting them see where the money's coming from. I'm letting them think man's working in the office, doing things legally, and he's looking at me like, yeah, dad's a hero. He's out here showing his son that he's out in his streets doing this bullshit. Oh, come on, man. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why that's acceptable. I can't believe that's what I'm hearing. I generally just think that it's just wild that a father and son is committing crime together, or bro, like killing, like over drugs, nigga. Oh, come on, man, over some drugs. Oh, for real? That is just wild. It's not even a surprising thing, because this happens all the time. You know, a lot of parents who grow up in that lifestyle tend to bring their kids with them, tend to want their kids to be involved. Like, they tend to want their kids to be, if they're like the G-man in the block, then they want their son to also be the understudy to the G-block, so that they can take over when the guy retires or the guy dies or whatever, right? That's how it is. So it's just one of those things where it's sad to see that a father and son, we saw this with, I can't remember who, something that was an artist that was shot in America, by a father and son. I think a mother was there as well. They pulled up to the shop. It was a rapper. I can't remember. Was it PNB Rock? Maybe I got it wrong. I can't remember. I think it was PNB Rock though. And bro, it's just sad. Like, why are you bringing your kids into your criminal activity? Like, leave your kids at home. But either way, it is what it is. You know, father and son jailed in Greenwich for stabbing somebody over something that's not even that important. Listen, man, you can make your money in any block, but obviously, you know, if you get robbed, I guess you gotta retaliate. So it is what it is, man. Into some music though. We're gonna talk a little bit about Sam Smith right now. So I gotta take a drink for this one, because this conversation is gonna get a little bit wild. And you know what? Strongbow Rosé cider is actually quite nice. Very nice, actually. This one is a bit of a weird one. I don't want to pretend that I'm in a form of community, so I won't fully understand. But I have to start by talking about Sam Smith now. Sam Smith has gone from claiming he's gay to non-binary, and I also believe he mentioned that he now doesn't necessarily see himself as any form of gender. Maybe that's what non-binary means. Listen, I haven't done enough research, so I'm only going to speak on the subject, but not necessarily that what he goes for. But for people that don't know who Sam Smith is, an artist, singer, got some major hits. No, 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 hey, listen, that shit was hard. Wasn't that Naughty Boy and Sam Smith, bro? Hey, listen, man, I ain't even gonna play. That tune was fire. He's got a couple of hits as well. Like Sam Smith is a big boy artist in the game. But anyways, yeah. So come out gay, come out non-binary. Now he doesn't identify as any form of gender. Anyway, listen, Sam Smith be changing his pronouns every 2 days, right? That's just what he does. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, because I fuck with a lot of the LGBTQ scene. Actually, funny enough, talking of the LGBTQ scene, I know I'm taking too long with the story. One of my homeboys at Chat and Chill was of the LGBTQ gay male. And I used to love our conversations because whenever we would talk about like our preferences, like I just loved the way he would talk about what he liked in a man, and it was crazy because he looked like an alpha, but wanted an alpha. I used to always find that quite funny. But so I don't know why I mentioned that, but yeah, I did always thought that was quite funny. Like, he looked like an alpha, so I would just assume that he might want somebody a little bit more feminine male, but no, he wanted a guy that was like six packed up in the gym, looking like a boxer, like an Anthony Joshua, and yet he kind of looked like that himself, which was quite interesting. But just for us, I don't know why. But anyways, shout out to my man though. You know who you are. Chat and Chill crew, gang. So anyway, let me put the story now. Artist Sam Smith has spoken out about the public abuse they have received since coming out as non-binary in 2019. They claim that one person even spat at them in the streets. Although friends and family have been very welcoming, Sam explained that they were not prepared for the public reaction. What people don't realise with trans and non-binary people in the UK is it's happening in the streets. I'm being abused in the street verbally more than I ever have. I really want to get somebody off the LGBTQ trans crew to discuss this further. I do actually have a trans brethren. I don't know if I can get them on right now. I would love to just slap the phone call in. I might just send a quick text and get them involved. I think it's unfair that the choices people make, they are getting ridiculed for it in the public. I think somebody as a black man who understand my form of being ridiculed in public in terms of this color of my skin, not comparing the two, I'm just saying, I don't want to see anyone go through what I went through or what anyone goes through based on something that's clearly what they want to do. Now obviously me being black wasn't necessarily a choice. I was born black. I couldn't wake up one day and say I'm black. It's not exactly the same thing. But in terms of just being spat at, abused, whatever in public, it's not fun. It's not nice to see. Let the man them live. Let the man do what they want to do and let them live how they want to live. Now, personally, for me, like I was saying before I even told the story, I don't fully understand where Sam Smith is at as a person. I don't actually know if he fully knows who he is as a person. I'm just basing this on the fact that he's making a lot of changes or making a lot of statements publicly about who he is, and he seems to not keep the same energy. So I don't really fully understand where he's at. I don't know what he thinks of himself as a person. I don't fully understand if he understands, or I don't know if he even knows who he is yet. I think maybe he's still trying to find himself. I don't know. Who knows? Interestingly talking about this non-binary thing, and before I make any form of mistake about non-binary, I'm gonna read out what non-binary means because I feel like non-binary people may identify as an intermediate or a separate third gender, identify with more than one gender, no gender, or have a fluctuating gender identity. Gender identity is separate from sexual or romantic orientation. Non-binary people have various sexual orientations. So basically, earlier I kind of messed up them. So yeah, basically he came out non-binary, basically saying he ain't really a gender. So I was pretty much right, but I thought I was wrong. I just wanted to make sure I was correct. So yeah, so you better watch the full clip now, cause don't tell me I was wrong the first time. Just saying. It's an interesting one. I'm not. Listen, I'm not one of the people that should tell people who they can and can't be. All I'm gonna say is, you can be whoever you want, personally. Now we don't have to agree with it. I was brought up in a fairly Muslim household. Well, I am a Muslim, so I have a very Islamic way of looking at things, right? It's just, unfortunately, it's just the way it has been for me. Now, do I care about whether you're trans, gay, lesbian, non-binary? No. I think you should be able to do whatever you want, because whatever you do doesn't necessarily affect what I do. Like, I have friends that are trans, I have friends that are gay, and I have friends that are lesbian. Like, it doesn't affect me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm cool if you're cool and we're living. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no issues with what you pick and what you choose. I think the only issue that I'm having, or I don't know if I'm having an issue with it, but it's just the way that all of this information is kind of being forced upon us. And when I say forced upon us, I'm talking about like what's going on with, the education system, schools. I don't know if I agree with young kids having to sit through all of this. Now, do I think they should know and understand this kind of conversation that's going on right now? 100%. I think there's so many different types of people in this world nowadays. That's more than what we talk about in terms of racism and understanding different cultures. The LGBTQ is now a form of a culture that I believe people should know and people should understand. Now, at what age group is it acceptable? Debatable. But I do believe that families of certain cultures, whether that's Muslim, African descent, it's a subject that they don't really want to have. So why force their kids to have it? Does that make sense? I just don't think you should force their kids to have a conversation that they don't want their kids to have. Now, whether that's fair, debatable. Again, I just don't think we should force other people's kids who are going through their cultural upbringing. So let's just stick to Islam at this point of view. In Islam, you shouldn't have same-sex relationship. You shouldn't change your gender, etc., 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 right? Then why are you forcing their kids to learn that in school when clearly that's not what they're learning at home? Their parents don't want that. Their parents don't believe in that. So then why are we forcing them to believe in that? Do you get what I'm saying? That's my only point, and I'm leaving it there because I don't really feel like getting cancelled for saying something that I don't think is wild, but it'll just be seen as wild to everyone. And it's sad because, like, I feel like this conversation is a good conversation. I would gladly, like, for me, I hope I'm not even disappointing my own friends by, making my points here, because, they're my peoples, and the fact that they're different is the reason why, they're my peoples. I love people that are different. I get I get on well with them, and we have great times together. Whether that's partying in the nightclubs, family. Like, some of these men will be taking me to Soho. We're up in heaven, getting lit. Like, bro, I have no issues with them. You know what I'm saying? With them, I'm not saying like that, but I have no issues. I just think people have their own different beliefs. People have their own different way of thinking. I've accepted that when it comes to racism. Look, some people just ain't gonna like me because I'm black. It's cool. Like, I don't care enough if my skin color bothers you to the point where you don't want to roll with me. Don't roll with me then. But be open and honest that you don't rate me, because if you're gonna lie to my face, you're wasting my time. And I think people should be allowed to have an opinion on what they do and don't like. We live in a world in today's society where I would rather know you're racist, and I think it would be good to know if you don't rate a gay person or a lesbian person. If you don't, then just say you don't, and let's keep it moving. Because lying about it and acting like you're something that you ain't, it's worse to me. Like, it's worse to me. Be honest. If you're not feeling the vibe, tell us you ain't feeling the goddamn vibes. You feel me? Anyway, let me have a little sip of my drink. So yeah, that's my point on the Sam Smith situation. If you want to see more of a LGBTQ plus conversation topics on the podcast, let me know. I will definitely be happy to make that happen. As long as it's a clean-hearted conversations, let's get into that. Another conversation I thought interesting to talk about. A panel of experts say black people in the UK are living in fear over racism. And I obviously touched a little bit about racism just earlier on the Stan Smith thing. I think this one is also another interesting conversation. Now let me, read it out for you. So a panel of UN experts who spent 10 days traveling across the UK explained that people of African descent still encounter racial discrimination and compromise their fundamental rights due to their race. The group also highlighted that trauma felt by people who are suffering racial discrimination, particularly in the criminal justice system. However, the UK government disagrees, saying that it was only a superficial analysis and that the country is open, tolerant, and welcoming. Cap. Stop lying. The UK is not welcoming, it is not tolerant, and is definitely not open. That is an absolute lie. Bro, listen. I can't even lie to you. This is the point now where I hate talking about racism. And the reason why I don't like talking about racism, because I've accepted it. I'm one of those kind of black people that people don't like, because I've just accepted that people are racist. I don't really care enough about talking racism. It's not a conversation that I enjoy having on a regular daily basis. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? But what I will say is the country needs to stop capping. Fam, I don't want to talk about a story that I went through, right? But I got arrested on the basis of this was the description. It was me and my homeboy. We was in Kingston. We went to a shopping centre. Funny enough, he's a footballer, by the way. That's a joke thing. I'm not going to say his name. I can't do that. We went to a shopping centre. This is the description that the feds gave, man. Facts. Puffer jacket, hat, dark skin. Bro, we walk out of the shop to that 5 bully vans, yeah? 5 of them hoes, yeah? Strip searching us, yeah? On the basis that because I had a Nike jacket, a Nike hat, and I was dark skinned, I'm now the main suspect. Bro, that's not welcome. What they should have done was approached us. Listen, we're looking for a description of this male. We are not sure exactly what this male looks like, but this is the description we was given. This is why we were checking you. This is why we are, we want to make sure that you're not the guy. They didn't talk to us on a friendly tip. They arrested us like, man, did it, dog. Like, man, I was out here stabbing dogs while I was going shopping with the homie. We was linking a ting. Oh, it's even worse. We was linking a ting, bro. Like, bro, we weren't even on trouble thing. Was linking a chick, and then we get arrested on suspicion of having knives and da. Oh yeah, puffer jacket, black skin. I can allow it, fam. Like, don't ever tell me you man are welcoming, man. Because in this country, man, talk BS, fam. Man be walking down streets, and man, listen. I don't even want to talk about it. Criminal justice system definitely don't respect black people. Definitely don't respect Asians. We are absolutely moved to in the system, bro. In the system, bro. Like, listen, you can do something. I don't even like talking about my shit. But I remember when I went through a little disagreement. Man, that was racist to me, calling me chocolate brownie, this and that, yada yada yada, and then I retaliate. I'm the aggressor now. I'm the aggressive one because I retaliated. I'm telling this kid, bro, this guy was being racist, bro. Oh, no. But you hit him. Huh? So what? Am I not supposed to defend myself? Listen, I'm not even a street nigga. I'm not even one of them hot dudes or whatever you lot want to call it. I ain't one of them guys. But don't come from my skin tone and expect me to just chill there and stand there and look at you like we're homies. Like, I don't understand. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. People living in fear, I'm not surprised. In this country, as a black person, and it's hard to explain to people as well because, fam, I'll be dating girls or whatever who are white, and as soon as the conversation debate turns to how I feel as a black man, it's almost like they feel like I'm attacking them, and it's not the case. It's they're not understanding how it looks like from a perspective of a black person. At certain scenarios just isn't the same. Like, you're complaining about something that I probably could, that's not the same. Do you get what I'm saying? So I like to give an example. They're talking about going on holiday, yeah, and I can't remember exactly where this girl wanted to go in particular, but I think it was like Texas. I think it was Texas, something like that. And I was just like, oh yeah, I'm black, I ain't trying to go to Texas. And then the whole conversation is about, why are you not trying to go to Texas? It's great. It's cowboy this, it's cowboy that. And then I'm just like, yeah, but I'm black. And me, as a black person, starts talking about, well, for you it's cool because you're one of them. They will accept you. But the area that she wanted to go to historically didn't accept black people. So having to explain to somebody, I'm not even interested in your dream holiday because I'm not accepted as my woman, or, you know, let's reverse the thing, as your man, if you are a black woman, you should be able to understand that, you know, culturally, we can't really go there because they don't like us. They might get racially abused, and you don't really want to pay. You don't want to pay to go on holiday to be racially abused. You know what I'm saying? Just things like that, little things like that. People just don't get it sometimes. So obviously, I kind of feel like I blabbed a lot far away from living in fear in the UK. But I will just say that in the UK, we're lucky enough to have enough culture, but we have a lot of culture in certain areas. If you kind of go away from London, I'll probably add Manchester and Birmingham, fairly cultured. You're not really getting much else. You're getting bits and bobs of culture in other areas, but not enough for you to feel that there's enough for you. Like, I grew up in Bristol, Emerson's Green. Shout out to Emerson's Green gang. Only black kid in school. Somebody was racist to me once when I'll never forget this actually. This kid was calling me like chocolate this, chocolate that. It was like year 4. It's crazy. And I remember getting really angry. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I think I did something. And I got told off for it. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, why are you telling me off when he's the one calling me chocolate this, chocolate that? And they just don't get it. And I think because I'm the minority to them, or they maybe not even rating me, but I'm the minority. So no one backs you. When you're in a minority, no one backs you. I had another issue like that in secondary school in Bristol. I went to a school called Mangotsfield. Shout out to the Mangotsfield gangs up in Bristol. And he also started, like, he's cussing me based on the colour of my skin. I remember I must have punched him in his face and pushed him in the bush. I got told up, and when I'm explaining the situation, no one seems to want to hear it. Like, they don't care that he said something. They care that I'm the aggressor. And in a situation where you're the only one, you're fighting for yourself. And I think a lot of people who have never had to fight for essentially, you know, kind of like their people, even though I wasn't fighting for my people, but, you know, you're the only one of your color and you have to fight for what you believe in. They don't get it. That's why I always say the police force is dead food, because they don't get it. They don't ever have to, like, they don't understand what it's like to be attacked, because they just assume you fit a description that you don't even fit. Like, they just, to take a couple of words, they can't take a bit of a description, and it might be a popular way of dressing up within your community. So because it's a popular way of dressing, there's like 50 of you, and they're just gonna assume all 50 of you did the same crime. Like, that's how they act. They don't even ask you nicely if they can check you, or if they can just make sure you ain't the one. You probably ain't the one. they holler at you like you're the criminal. They holler at you like you aren't shit. And a lot of people, I think, just don't understand that. They don't understand the meaning of being hit, being touched upon like you ain't shit. Like, they don't talk to you like you're a human being, dog. They hold you like you're a fucking animal, and they don't give you no fucking respect. And it's just a fact, and it's sad, and that's just the way it is. And personally, for me, like, I'm talking like I didn't care 10 million. I'm acting like I'm hella care. I just don't like talking about racism, because for me, I don't like talking about a subject that ain't gonna change. Like, people talking to me about, oh yeah, but the new generation and that, they'll change how you feel. Nigga, no, I don't care enough, bro. You go teach a new generation, but racism will always be racism if there's racism in the world, and racism will always stay in the world. And I don't really want to sit here and act like, oh yeah, let me teach the niggas what black people. That don't mean nothing, dog. Listen, you are who you are, and if you're racist, you're racist, and if you're not, you're not. And yeah, it's cool to have the conversation and discuss it, and make sure people feel welcome in the communities and whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I don't care enough. Like, I'm just one of those people. People are racist. If they want to be racist, they're gonna be racist, and I ain't got time to really think too much about it. So yeah, man. Do you think racism still exists? If you say no, you're a piece of shit. Can't lie. This strong word thing, it's got me talking. Back to music. Miss Banks drop a daily duppy on GRM Daily. Another good tune. I like her freestyles. I think in terms of a UK artist, she is one of the best female lyricists in the UK. Not the best, but one of the best. I think Steph London is in there. Lady Alicia might actually be number one. Especially if you remember her Queen speeches she was doing back in the day. Phew, fire. I think she got co-signed by Nicki Minaj as well. If I'm not mistaken, she got co-signed by a female. I don't know if it was like Missy Elliott or Nicki, one of them. But she was co-signed by a big American artist. That Queen speech shit was fire. But Miss Banks, she dropped some cool Frankie bars in there. I loved all the plagiarism bars that she had. Obviously, if you don't know what Daily Duppel is, it's a platform on Grime Daily where people go in and drop freestyles. Probably not even freestyle, they're all written, but woo, that bet was nice, but we call them freestyles. So, I'll give her a strong 7 out of 10 on that one. I just like Miss Banks, man. I think she's Ugandan as well. So, one of my fellow UGs, we outside. Obviously, you was part of a tune that stole my beat, but we ain't gonna talk about that. It wasn't actually your song. I think it was Roadman G, whatever his name was. Back Road G, I think. I dropped my song like a year before, so, no one can complain. But yeah, Miss Banks dropped the tune on Grime Daily. What do you think? Sorry, this podcast is a little bit short today. I am having to record it the day that I'm actually dropping it, so I don't want to make it too long because it takes too long to post. We do have 2 special guests coming this week. We've got a co-host that might be joining us for the rest of our life. Filming with her tomorrow, so that should be great. Stay locked in for that. And we got the infamous Beat 100 radio presenter Jay Way in the building. He's going to be joining us for I'm filming on Friday, so he'll probably come on a Monday episode. So I can't wait for you to hear that one. Listen, Jay Way is one of my prodigies. He came to me asking to jump on his radio thing. I put him on, and he's gone on to do bigger and better things himself. And love to see him. And it'll be good to talk to him as well because we get to talk about his journey so far in the radio presenting thing, and just him being in industry in general. So I hope you guys will be getting ready for that one. So yeah, man, listen, the Firahs podcast is moving forward. We've got a lot of guests lined up as well. So stay locked in for that. I just want to say a quick shout out to all the mandem that have been locked in for the past couple of days or weeks, whatever. We've had a good first week on the podcast. The views have been crazy on social media. People have been talking about it. So yeah, it'd be very nice to get involved and hear people say their little opinions. Listen, man, I'm gonna be out right now. Stay locked in, stay lively, stay lovely. And listen, man, shout out to all the man that's been locked in so far on the Firahs podcast. We are out and we're back here on a Wednesday. So stay locked in for that. We out. Bye.